Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? I am so excited because I'm set up in my new little office with all the windows open. I can hear the birds. It's heavenly. The lighting is beautiful. I'm really excited. So you guys, today I'm going to be using the gorgeous Llewellyn deck. I'll show you the box right here, and I'll do a flip through after as well because it's so magical in heaven. And funnily enough, my road that I live on is called Llewellyn, and a lot of publishing houses are also Llewellyn, or a big one is. So I'm really excited because this whole deck is just filled with such massive inspiration. So look at the cards we got today. Holy cow. We have the High Priestess, we have the Six of Wands, and we have the Magician. Now I was reading through the book in this, and I particularly loved the High Priestess card due to the fact it talks about faith and inspiration, wisdom and insight, enlightenment, imagination, that gorgeous receptive state of mind, everything from like intellectual growth, leading a life close to inspirational sources, conducive artistic environment, a rich inner life, a little bit of seclusion at times, right? An understanding of dark and light nature. We all have to kind of know our cycles. And I read this thing this morning. I loved it so much because it was talking about the different seasons and how just like the seasons, we aren't always constantly blooming, right? We're not always constantly blooming with great ideas and all of this. We have times of seclusion and thought and all of that, so we can welcome in the new grace of inspiration that comes in, right? I love an idea of life of just choosing to serve an art or a science and just being totally immersed in that, right? And gaining wisdom from that. I love this. I feel like also, the High Priestess can be an inspiring role model, someone who seeks knowledge and then can kind of condense and share it as well. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of TikTokers, a lot of TED Talkers really have this gift. And at times, I like to mellow myself and center before I do any of my readings, just due to the fact that I know that emotions and words are contagious. So why not keep it upbeat, happy, and insightful? And that's what the High Priestess talks to us about. It's like, okay, so you know what you're absorbing. Now, is it kind of like a clear follow through take and delivery of it? Or are you putting your own kind of like facet and twist on it? Are there any prejudices or hidden things in it as well? We sometimes have to take a look at that darker light. The High Priestess knows this. Oh, by the way, you guys, I just watched what was it called? The new Dumbledore. I loved it so much because I love the fantastical, magical beasts. I love that whole series so much. So we watched that last night as a family after a barbecue. It was that, oh my gosh, the gorgeous critter that bows down to people that are pure of heart. I loved that so much. I love that kind of thing. I could just watch things like that day after day after day, the magical realms of magic and cool animals. I love it. So that's, this card right here is just asking us, are we seeing things with kind of a pure heart, a clear mind, and undiluted too? We're not adding any spin on it that suits us. It's the reality of the fact and how we're dealing with things. I know sometimes we can go into our little own little sphere, and I feel like anybody can justify anything, especially if they have narcissistic or weird tendencies. But this card says, how about we just deal straight? How about we just deal from our intuition and say what's true and feel what's true and commence, if we haven't been, commence a new way, a new day, and start to formulate a plan. When we do that, you sleep better. I know I crash right out when I go to sleep because I know I don't deceive people. I know I don't go out in the world with malice. I know, that my intentions are always good to share and care and be aware, that sort of thing. But that comes with time. When I feel like there's a lot of times in my youth where, it's like we would put our priorities first and sometimes march over the feelings of others. But the High Priestess, and the Magician as well knows that there's a whole facet of feelings and perception that we deal with. So sometimes we need to kind of digest it before we step into anything, say anything, come to any conclusions. That beautiful energy. Now, this is one of my favorites because this is acknowledgement of accomplishments. Get ready for this victory parade, you guys. Accolades, admirers, gratitude. We love it. Respect of one's peers, contributing ideas to a group or a project or a cause, whatever it is. This is leadership and establishing a great reputation, good standing, recognized authority, having the confidence of community, a success being more than one had hoped for as well. One of my favorite cards because it really is a sense of satisfaction, an original darling thought brings home victory kind of thing. Honors. And if you want to, say, begin some kind of large project or something, think about this card. Think of what it would be like to just win across the board in it, to have great ideas be received well, receive honors, whatever it is in your life that you're beginning. I always like to delve into best case scenario because when we do that, we touch on that eternal cheerleader that's like, of course you can have this or do this. Of course you can. There is enough, victory. There is enough wins. There is enough abundance. There's enough trophies out there for everybody, for sure. Love that card so much. Now, the Magician. I just love the artwork in all of these so much. I find that they're just magic. And I love the beautiful altar right there. All the beautiful leaves just coming down. So, so beautiful. So, you guys, why I talk about this too, what I'm going to do is get the deck and I'm going to do a little flip through why I talk about this, because I like looking at artwork too. Let me see. I want to see too. A lot of times in the book too, it has the meanings of these beautiful Celtic characters as well, which I love. So I'm going to do a little flip through why we're talking about the Magician. The Magician 100% is about talent and intelligence. It's a higher comprehending mind where we are self-aware, we're observing what's going on, right? Purpose and skill, an independent thinker, you're not following the crowd. And I feel like a lot of my listeners are the Magician type of personality, originals, originators, people that get things done with purpose and skill, an inspiring, powerful voice at times when we really hit our stride, right? I know sometimes if I begin a video and I have this energy, which I do usually when I start, because it's first thing in the morning, I'm only hearing the birds, I'm out in nature, I feel good. I just move forward, It's commitment and communication, it's eloquence and persuasion, and we use the persuasion for good, right? So if people are arguing or being fussy or indecisive, we're able to help them. A lot of great life coaches work with this Magician stuff because we know what emotions are contagious. We give the right prompts to let people know that everything is on offer for them. There are no limitations, so stop putting a cap on what you can have, that type of thing. But it's also about a little bit, the Magician has that charm and confidence and control, because talent that carries responsibility and casts one in another, like in a worldly light. It's one of those things where we can have abilities and talents, we can teach others, all of that. I feel like moms a lot of times they are magicians, right? Because it takes some patience. The questions that are like coming rapid fire sometimes from a toddler. What do clouds taste like? Why can't I eat worms? Why is dirt not part of my salad? Just please, my kids were pretty inventive. Oh, I love this Wheel of Fortune. We're so inventive with the questions, but it's one of those things that we can weave a wonderful, magical reality out of the littlest things, the simplest pleasures too, right? Ever take a kid to the beach for the first time? They will dig in that sand until they just can't dig anymore and they just fall face first in the dirt because they're so tired. That tactile, beautiful sense of the beach, all of that. That death card is lovely too. But I just love this deck. I saw Gregory Scott using it the other day, and I thought, how did I not know this? And this is the name of the street I live on, Llewellyn. And here's the funny thing too. I find a lot of Irish people, accented and all, tend to come to live. My direct neighbor, his direct neighbor across the street from him, the one to the left of them, originate, a lot of Irish backgrounds tend to come and live on this particular street. I've always have felt that it is the land that draws us, it is when I first saw my yard, I was like, forget about the house. I was just so drawn to the yard, and they were really into gardening, and I was like, it's like a whole acre tucked in this like little forested area, and like nobody can even see, and you can just garden and read. And I was like, oh, this is it. It was absolutely magical. And from the get-go, and I knew it was, going to be a place. So that's about half of the deck, you guys. I just wanted to show you because I just like the simplicity too. And I'm not always a big one on bordered cards, but I feel like this works. The quiet sand, the brush of sand really works well with it. Love the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups. Just beautiful, rich artwork. Love, love, love this so much. So again, you guys, the imagery is just beautiful and hushed and wonderful. And I feel like the 3 cards that came up today, wow, really magical. I can also tell that the major arcana, I shuffled it a few times, but I was like, wow, it just reminds us that we can go forth and have any kind of day, week, or life that we want. When we have mindful awareness, we are present in the moment, we are thoughtful to ourselves and others, and it's really as simple as that. So that is what you're meant to hear today, you guys. Thank you for your beautiful comments. Oh my gosh, I posted one of my story yesterday. You guys are so thoughtful, and I really, really appreciate it. Because I do, I put thought and time into the videos, and the fact that you guys put time and thought to leave me nice messages really makes it all worthwhile, and is so wonderful. So thanks again, you guys. Oh, and also if you want a private read, all you guys have to do is DM me at sparkrist11 on my IG, or you can hit me up on my email, which is sparkrist@gmail.com. I know a lot of my links are on my earlier videos, and I have to, there's something a little glitchy, and I have to teach myself the process, but I'll restart adding all the links that go to my Etsy store and everything else as well. So love and light.